And we're live! Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Sir Monk. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Carl. This time is the special Easter edition in which we are focusing on cooking recipes with hard boiled eggs. Of course, it is a time honored tradition in my family, at the very least, to dye and hide and find eggs for every Easter, but the downside is you have a lot of hard-boiled eggs left over, and you got to figure out what the heck you want to do with them. And you got to figure out what the heck you want to do with them. So my goal today is to do a couple recipes that will hopefully allow y'all to use up all these hard-boiled eggs. We're going to use a whole dozen of eggs today, and I'm thinking this will serve four, a party of four. We're going to be making egg salad, super simple egg salad, and we're also going to be making deviled eggs. Now, usually I go off of a recipe that someone else made for these sorts of things, but we're going to be doing it how my family has done it for I don't actually know, it's not for generations, but we're going to be adding a little secret ingredient that really serves to push the whole deviled egg experience over the edge. So, without further ado, let's get started. Oh, itchy. Ah. And of course, if you have not seen a Cooking with Carl before, you should know that I will be doing each recipe twice. Do the first one, pass it off to my dad, get his feedback, and then do the second one. And we do that because if you join in late, or if you're not prepared at the start, you can follow along the second time. Okay, I'm going to stop brandishing this knife. Anyway, so I was told this is relatively controversial, but we're going to put a little bit of potato in the egg salad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this potato into quarters. Got to be very careful when cutting with a knife. I'm making sure the blade is below my fingers at all times so I'm not slicing myself. But yeah, slice that there. What we're going to do is, we've got a pot over here. You can see half of it. Nope, that's the wrong one. We're going to start that boiling. And then once that starts boiling, we'll throw our potatoes in there. And we're just going to let them boil while we prepare the rest of the egg salad. So, it's super easy. This is the only cooking that's involved with this recipe. Everything else is literally just chop the stuff up, throw it in, mix it. So, let me just pull up the recipe, the ingredients list. All right, so we got the small potatoes. Holy cow. Why is my nose always so itchy when I'm not allowed to scratch it? We have the small potatoes there. Next up, apple. This is an interesting choice. I did not realize that apples were popular for um, egg salad, and I don't think they are. I think the guy in the video, again, if you're not in the Discord, you can join that. The cooking channel is where you want to go. You can find an ingredients list and a link to the video that I used, which was actually submitted by a user, a viewer. Hazel Tari submitted that recipe. And if you would like to submit a recipe, if you'd like to see me make something, feel free to drop a recipe in there, or even just a suggestion, and I can go find a recipe for you. So I can make it. I always love making things that my viewers suggest. Could be something that you've made before and that you love and you want to see me try out. It could be something that you're curious about that you want to see me try. Oh, frick. That you want to see me try out and see me mess up first before you do. All right, so now we've sliced that up. We're making a half batch, so half an apple. If you want to make a full batch, you can just double everything. So half an apple. Slice the peel out. Oh yeah, that's how I did it last time. I was like trying to figure out my knife technique. Now this, you got to be super careful because you are pointing a blade towards your body. So you want to have a nice sharp paring knife, and you want to just go really slowly. You don't want to press you know, let the knife do the work. Because if you're trying to like pull the knife through, you're building up pressure. And then if, once that pressure snaps, ouch, the knife might go somewhere you don't want it to go. Like inside you or your friend, but probably you. There we go. There we go. That's two of these things. So we're gonna chop these up into nice fine little cubes. It'll add a little bit of crunch in there. See the water starting to boil. Well, that's just lovely. Well, you know what? We rinse these. We wash that. Actually, yeah, no, that's gross. It's all greasy. Ugh, into the compost with you. Of course, it fell down. Not only did it fall down, and then, whoop, I'm caught on something. Not only did it fall down, of course, it had to bounce off and roll underneath the stove, underneath the oven. Luckily, I was able to fish it out. Put that. We got the water, it's starting to boil, and we'll just throw that. Once it comes to a full boil, we'll throw our 4 potato chunks in there, and then we will let that soften while we're prepping everything else. All right, we can take these chunks, we can toss them on the floor, apparently, in the compost bin. All right, then we're just going to chop these up into little tiny pieces. Water's starting to boil. Let me get my tongs just so I don't drop them in and splash boiling water everywhere. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Y'all can kind of see that, okay? Yeah, you can see that. Oh, my finger's wet. Wet finger. Oh, no! Wet fingers mess up trackpads. There we go. We're just going to chop that up nice and finely. In a little cubey boys. If you want to omit the apple, you can. If you feel like that's just not your style, and if you want the presence of the apple's texture to be less known, a good way to do that is to chop it up smaller and smaller. I wonder if you bake the apple, make it nice and squishy. There we go. See, I think that's a pretty good size right there. We can just toss those into our bowl over here. My off-screen bowl. Okay, what's next on the list? A cup of celery. Okay. Let's give it some nice crunch to it, a nice little mouthfeel. Fun fact about celery. I feel like everybody knows this fact. I've heard it so many times. Celery is actually so devoid in calories, at least digestible calories, so high in fiber, that the energy it takes to digest the food, the celery, both physically or mechanically and chemically, is more energy than it takes than the celery has. So if you eat nothing but celery and took your vitamins, you die theoretically of malnutrition. or mal energy or whatever, starvation. All right, so we need a half cup of this. If I said a cup, that was the full recipe. We're only doing a half recipe right now. Nice and choppy. Like 2 more sticks, and that should be a half cup. Our potatoes, ooh, that's a rolling boil. Hoping it doesn't boil over. It's not looking like it's going to boil over. Just toss all this up. A paring knife is good for chopping up foods, slicing, make it in chunks. Not the best at getting small things. Hold on, let me get like a butcher knife, a bigger knife. I'll be right back. Oh my god. Have I not been talking? Has my mic been off? Frick. I'm a fool. Anyway, we're on to the next okay. Half a shallot. So we're going to do a quarter of a shallot. Oh, I didn't realize celery juice was sticky. I'm going to rinse my hands off. It's got a stick to it. Maybe it was the apple juice as well. Combination of both, celery, apple. Juice some celery and some apple. Drink that. Ugh. Yummy. Not really. Okay, so we're going to want half of a shallot. So a quarter shallot. Let's chop the crappy ends off. You don't want that. They said that you could also do a red onion. But here's a shallot. Let's get all the layers off. It's like an ogre. If you really want the beautiful stuff, you got to peel back the layers, They're kind of nasty and smelly to start out with. But once you peel back the layers, there's some real potential there. So there's our half shallot. There's our quarter shallot. So this will just give it a little, and I quote, bite, to quote Master Preppy Kitchen. You can take all this crud. We don't want any of that. That's useless. It's kind of gross. The flaky skin, like we don't want like this skin in there. Maybe if you blended it up all the way, but still, ugh. And we should be able to use just our paring knife. We shouldn't need the giant chef knife. Because the cool thing about shallots and onions and all that good stuff, their layers separate pretty cleanly. So if you just chop it one way, like against the layers, against the grain, then everything should come right apart. Maybe I'll be able to do the chef's knife a little bit. Rocking around the cutting board. Little giblet there was dodging me, man. So I'm glad to see that the potatoes look like they're not going to boil over. Knock on wood. Okay. So we'll throw that in there. Apple, shallot, and celery. Looking like a real egg salad, isn't it? All right, and next up on the list, we have a quarter cup dill. Interestingly enough, I went to the store, I could really only find dill. Live dill. Live, still growing dill. So we're only going to need 1/8 of a cup of dill. So yeah, this stuff, it was like, just like put it in your window and then like cut off what you need. Probably should have used scissors. And then let it grow more, which is, that's kind of cool. Kind of sustainable. So you don't have to keep going back to the store and getting some chives. Just have a little herb garden there. Not dill? Did I say dill? I said dill? Oh, chives. Oops. I read both dill and both chives have 1/8 of a cup for this recipe. So not to worry. If you grab the dill and you're putting 1/8 of a cup in, you're good. So I don't know if this is going to be 1/8 of a cup, but it's half of the dill, or half of the chives. Frick. Having problems, folks. Let's corral that a bit. Just bunch it all up here. Roll it up into a little ball. So it all behave. All be in the same place. All right, so. A little less than 1/8 of a cup, but that's fine. Chop up. Okay, that's fine. So chopped dill. There we go. Dill pickles. And then we have the dill. The actual dill, not the chives dill, the dill. So we're going to do, this is all the dill I got. Organic dill. Oh, God. And then we'll drop it on the floor. Hold up. Let's just rinse that off, because I don't think we can afford to lose that dill. Dill poofle. One time we went to the fair, and the person that entered the dill in said they didn't want it, so we got it, and my cat, Poofle, was playing around with it. So we called it the dill poofle. Let's see. How do you do this? Because you really only want the sprigs, You don't really want the stems. All right, this is about half of the dill. So I'll save half for the next batch. There we go. too hungry. I can't tell the difference between dill and chives. By the way, folks, I don't eat dinner before this. I start these things at noon. My time, and I don't eat lunch before this. I just said dinner. Holy cow, I guess I am hungry. But yeah, I don't eat lunch before this. Like, I'm making lunch. So I usually don't eat lunch until like 1 to 2 to 3 p.m. on Sundays. So I'm super hungry whenever I do these. It really motivates me to do it right. Oh, maybe it like, I don't know. Isn't that like a saying, like you should never like shop while you're hungry, right? You should never shop at the grocery store when you're hungry because you'll just buy stuff that you don't actually need. I feel like that's what I might do here. I'm really hungry, so I'll just like cook it in a way that it's not actually good. Because I'm like, yeah, I want a lot or something, and just make too much. All right, so this is the actual dill. There we go. A third a cup of mayo, so a sixth a cup of mayo. We got Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. Oh, I gotta flip the top. Probably helps. There we go. Sixth cup of mayo. And here's the thing. It says a tablespoon of Dijon. So half a tablespoon of Dijon. We got two different mustards, neither of which are Dijon. We have beer and brat horseradish mustard, and then your classic yellow hot dog mustard. So we're going to try one of both. So my dad's going to get the spicy kind. So we're going to... Oh, shoot. God, I didn't realize I was under pressure. That's fine. We'll just scoop that out. There we go. Glorp that in there. Like so. All right. And then the last two things. Let's see. Well, actually, salt and pepper, of course. You got to have salt and pepper. You can't not, right? Pepper. Quarter teaspoon of pepper. Quarter teaspoon of salt. Just like so. And then the last thing we got apple, celery, shallot, dill, chives, mayo, Dijon, salt, pepper. So we need 4 hard-boiled eggs and this potato. So that's going to be, we'll do the potato last so we make sure it's all boiled. So we got the eggs. All right, these are the eggs that we dyed. Let's show them off. Ooh, fancy, fancy. Food camera as well. Oh my God, I should have the big food camera. I'm an idiot. What am I doing? And we got the big food camera as well. There we go. So, got this one. I believe it's, I don't know, my sister made it off some Otome game. But yeah, this is like a symbol of one of the characters in there. So we'll be peeling that. You'll see a bunch of these. We had this interesting, what was it? It was like this thing where you put this powder in water, and then you whipped it up in the mixer like whipped cream, and then you put the dye and sprinkled it on the whip, and then you like scooped it onto the egg, and it made these patterns. So there's a couple of these. This is another one that my sister made. So we're gonna take 4 of these things, and another one my sister made. Take 4 of these, and we're gonna peel them. Let me grab the compost here. Unicorn Color Whip. That's what it's called. Thank you, Chichi. So we're just gonna kind of crack them all around. Oh, but not too hard, frick. We're just gonna take all the eggshell off. Oh no. See, the guy in the video was like, yo, if you want to tell me how to peel eggs better, that'd be great, because like you get this where the whites just want to stick to the shell, and it just comes off in chunks, and it's just nasty. We don't really care about it looking nice right now, but when we get to the deviled eggs, we do, because we want it to be intact. We're gonna chop these all up, so I'm not too terribly worried about making sure that they're like fancy and intact. Like, oh, look at this. That's gross. Oh, missed a spot. Hopefully the other eggs don't do that. I wonder if you were to slice the egg first for the deviled eggs. Lightly tap it around. Oh no. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's not good. Not good, Patrick. Not good. Uh. Oh no. Oh my god. Yeah, like I said, for the deviled eggs, you want them to be nice and really fresh eggs are much harder to peel when hard boiled. I guess. Yeah, these are farm fresh eggs. I'm not sure exactly how old they are, but they are pulled from the farm. We're not bought at a store. See, that's what I want. Look at that. Oh, there we go. That's good stuff. But that's not what I want. I feel like if I peel one and it's good, I should just leave it be and set it aside so I can make that one be the devil egg one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I am afraid as to what the deviled eggs will yield us. All right, well, we want to put all this eggshell into the compost. But yeah, I mean, we're going to chop these all up, so whatever. Don't really care. But yeah, we're going to be doing the deviled eggs after this. All right, make sure all the peel got off. Like, look at this. Oh no. The amount of actual edible egg stuff we just threw away. Just composted. Chop this up into nice pieces. It's all going to get mixed in and kind of blended-ish. Not blended, but all mixed in anyway. So you don't need to be too super careful. I might be stealing the secret ingredient from my dad when we do that. When we do the second part, the deviled eggs. Because I am hungry right now. So hungry. I don't know why. I usually, I have the same amount, right? As I usually, I have the same thing for breakfast. Every morning I have a bowl of Raisin Bran with 1% milk. So I'm not sure why I'd be super hungry right now. There we go. Throw that in the bowl. We can turn the heat off on our potatoes, and then the last thing to do is to peel the potatoes and then slice them all up. Throw them in. We can mix it up, and then that's it. That's literally it. certainly seem nice and soft. We'll take those out, give them a little chance to cool down. Little hotheads. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's soft. Also, I lost a piece. It's the smallest piece. Let's just throw that in the compost. But yeah, those are soft. Woo! Just mash them up. I don't even need to slice them. And there we go. Yeah, I don't want to touch that. Yeah, there's some pieces that fell off in there of potato. Maybe I should just boil the whole potato whole next time. Cool down, will ya? Or, I mean, one thing I could just do is hold it with the tongs. Can I just peel? Yeah, the skin just comes right off. That's good. Very good. There we go. Peeling a hot potato. Well, this thick one is looking like it's a little more holding together. I might want to try to be more deliberate about making 4 similarly sized pieces. I didn't really care. I just kind of wanted to cut into pieces so it would all fit under the water, you know? Go. This is such a hack job here. There we go. Let's just kind of squish it. Or not. Chop this right up. Nice and mashy potato chunks. Almost mashed, you know? Kind of get it nice and creamy, nice and flaky. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, look at that. Okay. So then we'll just put that into the salad, into the mixture. And then we'll set our cutting board aside. We'll see more use from there. And then we'll just mix it all up. Well, let's first make sure we got all the ingredients. We've got eggs, potato, apple, celery, shallot, dill, chives, mayo, Dijon, salt, pepper. Sounds good to me. I distinctly remember putting all those things in here. So we just mix it around. Get all the liquidy mayo and mustard all incorporated in. It's not super dry. There we go. Now it's all becoming kind of one consistency. Not, a homogeneous mixture or anything like that. But the mustard and the mayo are starting to incorporate with all the other ingredients. And then there we go. That's it. We have. It's your birthday and you cry. Hey, happy birthday. You got some deviled eggs from the store? Nice. Well, we're about to start making the deviled eggs. I'm a little bit scared because we have fresh eggs. They're really hard to peel, so they're coming out really funky. But glad you got your deviled eggs. Happy birthday. Happy wait, how are you? 28? You're 28, right? Did I remember this? But yeah. Let's get a little taste of this. Oh, that's pretty good. Father, the egg salad is ready. And then, so I'll give this to my dad, and then we'll get started on the deviled eggs. Hopefully we can peel the eggs properly. No problem. All right. So, on to the deviled eggs. The moment you've all been waiting for. So, of course, when making deviled eggs, the first thing that you need is a frying pan. Is the devil. And there's a reason for that. Oh, I'm going to need a bowl. Be right back. You're going to need a frying pan, okay? Because the secret ingredient in my family's deviled eggs recipe is bacon. So you got some Oscar Mayer thick cut bacon. I don't know. I keep forgetting which ones I like. But we'll get this open. If we can. There we go. No. Come on. I think I made it worse by slicing it. There we go. There we go. So we're going to cut these in half so they better fit in the pan, right? So we're going to do 3 slices of bacon. Going for the gusto. There we go. Now, you always want to treat raw meat like it's poisonous. Because it kind of is. Kind of can be. It's got certain bacteria on it. It can, give you food poisoning. So you want to make sure that whenever you're dealing with raw meat, you don't cross-contaminate it with anything. And if you get it on your hands, which I did when I opened this, if you get it on your hands, you want to make sure that you wash your hands thoroughly before you mess with anything else. So I'm going to put this meat away so I don't have to worry about it. And then I'm going to wash my hands. To get all the meat juice off. Put this in here, and we can throw the bacon on the burner, on the pan. We're going to start frying that up. Now I'm going to be eating this bacon because I'm very hungry. That should help tide me over to when I get my portion. Fry faster. So what we're going to do is, if you haven't guessed, we're going to fry this bacon up, right? We're going to pour off all the grease. We're going to let it cool for a bit. And then we are going to mix up the egg yolk and mayo in the pan. And get all the bacon bits in the thing. Actually in the goo before we put it back into the egg. All right, starting to get nice and wet. Starting to get good. Love the anticipation when you're making bacon and it's this, plain opaque white color, but then it starts turning translucent. Ooh. Starting to hear the sizzle sizzle. I love bacon. What'd you think?
I think the celery waters it down a little bit, makes it a little watery instead of adding celery flavor to it. I don't know what it's going to do about it, but
Celery waters it down instead of making it more celery-y. Interesting.
so, and it might be that sit a bit for the flavors to combine.
Perhaps.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, I don't remember if in the video the guy said anything about letting it sit.
I'm going to try that toast and see how that goes.
Yeah, the guy was like pumpernickel was his favorite. Put it on pumpernickel. Recommended. Sometimes I like to jiggle the bacon around because if you don't do that, like it has a habit of like the fat or whatever kind of melds with um, the other bacons. So if you don't jiggle it around, it'll start sticking together, and then that's a no. Also, I mean, this is a non-stick pan, so it shouldn't really happen. But if this thing sticks to the bottom of the pan, then like yeah, it'll start burning and it'll be a pain and whatnot. So you want to do that a little bit just to keep it from sticking. Maybe flip it. You just flip my bacon a couple times. Yummy, yummy. Is it kind of blurry? Is it not focused on the? Kind of hard. Of course, that's the camera sitting on this board. My phone looking through a hole in a board. So it's kind of hard to look up and make sure, and then tap what you think is what I think is the where to focus. I really need to just get a chair out and climb up on there and look at it each time. Some people saying they use a fork for bacon. I'm a tongs guy. I get more control. That, and if you have a non-stick pan, if you're using metal utensils like a fork and you're kind of digging around in there, you can potentially scratch the coating. Sitting here like, man, cook faster. I'm hungry. So when it's all done, we've got this Pringles can here. Pringles cans are good for this purpose. Holy cow! Someone's revving their engine outside. But yeah, Pringles cans are a mixture of like foil and and like paper products. It's not really plastic, so it doesn't really melt. So they're good for pouring off grease into them, hot grease specifically, which is what we're going to want to do. Usually, I mean, you sit and wait for the grease to cool down, then you can pour it off. But I'm on a schedule, so I'll pour the hot grease off, let the thing cool off, dab off any extra remaining grease, get those good bacon bits. Woo! It's popping. There we go. There we go. Throw this here. We're putting all this in the paper towel thing. Paper towel bowl. We'll flip this over, put that on there. So nice and carefully, you want to pour off the grease. You don't want to go too freaking crazy. You want the little bits in the bottom of the pan to stay. So you can kind of see all these little fry bits in there. That's what we want to stay. Let that cool for a little bit. There's like little fry bits. It's kind of hard to see. There's like little goobers, little blobbers in there. So we'll dab all the grease off. That's what helps keep bacon hot. Hot grease on it. Yummy. Bacon. Taste buds can't decide whether it's egg salad or potato salad. Oh well. That's fine. ASMR eating. Ah. Okay. So, here's the part that I've been afraid of. Now, We're going to have to peel 2 eggs. They don't peel very well, though. Let's get our cutting board out. So we've got this lovely blueberry egg. The blue didn't really take. By me. And then we have this lovely unicorn vomit egg. So the question is, if I chopped it, that's a bad idea. I was thinking of maybe trying to chop it with the shell on and then shelling it afterwards, but no. Oh. Oh? Are we peeling it, boys? Ah! I was peeling it with the membrane still on. Which is, it's fine by me. First, calculate roll the egg on a hard surface. 1 revolution. Correct. Go all the way around the equator of the egg. Perhaps this is working, though. No! No! I'm getting the shell to separate from the membrane, which is good. Ah! Silence in the chat. Hopefully we'll have no Fs in the chat. This is like freaking an archaeological dig. Trying to unearth. Oh no! Not break a. Anybody play that game Spectro for the DS? I played it, beat it. I played it, left it, came back to it, finally progressed, left it, came back to it again. It was like someone arrived on a planet, and it was from a distant solar system, and like he was in suspended animation for a long time, and his entire planet had died or whatever because these evil aliens had attacked it. But then he had this technology where you could like dig up fossils and then revive them and fight alongside them, and that was one of the core game mechanics was like um, digging up fossils, and you had to like be all archaeological, like different sizes of drills and stuff, blow all the dirt away. And then you had to speak to it to make it wake up. Wake up. Although in actuality, you just needed to blow on the mic. It's a really soft, hard boiled eggs. Like they're just peeling apart. I'm just kind of lightly rubbing the edge, and then it's just splitting. Peeling the membrane off to hopefully get the last of the shell. There we go. One egg almost perfectly peeled. One more. All right, this one seems to be going a little bit better. I'm definitely gonna jinx it by saying that. And typically, you want to make a big batch, of these all together. I'm just gonna be making two, two hard-boiled eggs worth, which is not ideal. You'd want to like make up a dozen. Uh, this is just a pain in the butt. Like you hope upon hope that you peel the egg and it just kind of separates from the shell. But this is like the shell is just stuck. Like every piece at every point, every one of these uncountably infinite points, the shell is just stuck to the egg, to the albumin. I'm going to need to take these aside and rinse them after this, by the way. Get all the eggshell crud off. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. Pop off screen for a bit. Holy cow, that's a pain in the butt. Sorry about that, folks. So what we're going to do, now that the eggs are properly sliced and shelled, we're going to cut the egg in half lengthwise. So what this is going to do is going to allow the egg to sit like that. So the yolks are sitting up like that. Just be careful not to go too crazy and then kill the egg. Just like split it open. And then we're going to pop the yolks out. Now hopefully the yolk should pop right out. There we go. Boom. And we're going to put it in the bacon pan that has been drained of all the grease. Ugh. There we go. And then we're going to take a rubber scraper. We're going to smush them. Purple's Alt, reminder to hydrate. Welcome in, Purple's Alt. How you doing? How you been? It's been some time, hasn't it? Are you a fan of deviled eggs? We're going to squish all these together. And we're going to kind of want to get all of the bacon grease and bacon bits into the yolks. And you want to squish them down. So scrape them all together in the side of the pan. And again, you generally want to make more than just 2 at once, but that's just what we're working with. And then we'll add a little bit of mayonnaise. And then we'll mix that in. And then you're just going to keep adding mayonnaise until it gets to the consistency that you want. Nice and creamy. See, here we can probably add a little bit more mayonnaise. Yeah, just a little bit at a time. No rush. Mix it in. Probably a little bit more. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that does it. And just a little bit more. Just a bit. Just a pinch. There we go. That should be fine. You want to just mix it all in. Mix all the crud together. And like I said, maybe I want to do like a whole dozen eggs. So that way your loss, anything you lose on like the sides of containers and stuff will be proportionally less. Now here's where we get funky. Now this time we're gonna get funky. We'll put that in there. We got this pastry bag. We'll fold the pastry bag over a cup to allow us to put this stuff in here. And then we'll put the deviled egg goo in the bag. Make sure to get all of that in there. And then we'll fold this bag up and over. We'll make sure to try to squish as much of this down as possible. Now, you don't need to use the pastry bag to make it look fancy, but, this is Cooking with Carl. We try to make things look fancy. So you want to try to squish everything down. And so we'll tie this off. And what we'll do is we'll do this. Squish it right in there. There we go. You want to put it on the bottom. Squish it all through there and let it squirt out and make this nice star shape. So here you can kind of see the star shape. My patissier, Carl with Cooking, welcome in. They speak. Cooking with Carl. Carl with the cooking. Squish that in there. Got a little bit. Let's load her up. Got a little bit more. I was being a little not generous enough. Of course, a lot of it's stuck in there. There we go. And so there, final thing we do You do speak. Good. I like it when my viewers speak. I love my lurkers, don't get me wrong, but I love it. Love to see your speak. And then we put a little bit of paprika on it. Just a pinch. So it's a lot of paprika. There we go. And voila. We have deviled eggs with paprika. All right, so that is it for the first session. We will go on a short commercial break. I'll be cleaning my stuff up, resetting my situation. You speak your remaining account, Purple and Shy. That's what I was wondering. I asked you if you were, but I never got an answer. But yes, I will put on a commercial break, and then we will come back with the second recipe. So I hope you'll stick around for that, and I will be right back. Hello, and welcome in, sweet. Welcome back to Cooking with Carl. Time for the second iteration of the recipe. Today, as I mentioned before, we are trying to get rid of all of the lovely hard-boiled eggs that we've dyed at Easter time. So we are making egg salad and deviled eggs. So we made our first iteration already. My father gave rave review. He gave okay reviews. The deviled eggs were good. Egg salad, the celery made it a little weird. Might need to sit for a while. I don't know. But we'll be doing the second iteration. But yes, welcome in specifically, Sweet Weeby. How are you doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? All right. So first things first, get the cutting board out. Maybe a little messy because we used it for the first round. So don't think I just pull dirty crud out of my cupboard and then just cook without washing things. All right, so we'll cut it into quarters to make it more manageable for the boiling. Oh, it's trying to run away from me. And then we'll get that water boiling in the back here. Boop. And of course, as always, if you're ever interested in following along at any time, I post all of my recipes in advance, sometimes only a couple days in advance, in the Discord, in the cooking channel. So if y'all want to follow along, you can. So there we go. Let's not drop the potatoes in the open flame, shall we? That'd be lovely. Okay. So the potatoes are in there. That's going to start boiling in a bit. Do you have to wait before the water starts boiling before you put... whatever. Let's see. Let's get our ingredients list. So this is a pretty easy potato salad. I had one viewer suggest it to me, so I said, why not? Literally, this is the only cooking part. Everything else is just cut the ingredients up and throw them into the old bowl. So, we have one apple. Well, we're making a half batch, so we have the other half of the apple. Unfortunately, it has started browning, but once we chop it all up and throw it in there, I don't think anyone will notice. Yeah, you want to be super careful when chopping apples, or anything, when you're using a knife, so you don't mess up and cut yourself. I have a compost bin just off screen if anyone is curious. So yeah, this method, you are cutting towards yourself. So you got to be super careful, and you want to let the knife do the work. I like to rock my knife back and forth so that I can slice through it without putting force. Because if you put force and you crank the knife towards you, and then something gives, chances are the knife's going to go into you. And you don't want the knife to go into you. I still have big face, don't I? I should have big food. Big food! There we go. That's much better. Rookie mistake, Carl. Rookie mistake. There we go. Put the peel in the compost. Chop the stem off. Throw it on the floor. You love the cam setup? Thank you. Yeah, it's my phone. You can see in the face cam, but it's my phone on a board in the cupboard, looking through the camera, looking through a hole in the board. And I'm using DroidCam, the DroidCam app, to broadcast the feed to my setup. But thank you. We're gonna see how it works next week. Next week, I'm planning on doing some grilling. So we're gonna have to figure out exactly how I'm gonna set my cameras out outside. One of my viewers posted a deluge, Hazel Tari. We met a few weeks ago on a cooking stream, on my cooking stream. Sent a deluge of recipes, and one of them was like a Coca-Cola sauce tossed chicken. That looked interesting. So now that the weather is warming up where I am, I thought it might be cool to try to do a grill setup outside. Yeah, grill the wings up and then toss them in some sauce. At least that's the idea. So yes, interestingly enough, this recipe calls for apples. Like I said, the video, link to the video and the list of ingredients is in the Discord if anyone is interested. Like Preppy Kitchen or something, I think was the YouTube channel. I'd never heard of it before, but just chop this. Feeling much better. I don't eat dinner. It's 1:22. I usually eat dinner or lunch. You know, usually I eat lunch around noon. Like usually I have a break from noon to 1 if I have a lunch break. You know, if I have a morning stream and an afternoon stream. So I usually eat noon to 1, but then I wait during cooking streams, you know, because I give the first batch to my dad and then I eat the second batch with viewers on camera. By that time I'm super hungry, so I must admit I took a little time during my cleanup break to get some yogurt. Tied me over. All right, so that's going to go in there. It's the apples. What's next on the list? Let's make sure we keep our cutting board away from the heat. Celery. So we're going to need a half a cup of celery. I think that was like 4 sticks before. Half a cup of celery. Fun fact about celery. I think a lot of people know this, but fun fact nonetheless. It is mostly water and fiber. And because of that, fiber being something that humans cannot digest, it actually takes more energy, more calories to physically, you know, to mechanically and chemically digest celery than celery actually has available to humans. So what the implication is, if you were to still like eat supplements and get all the vitamins and minerals in your day, but the only thing you ate for calories was celery, you would not be able to survive. So I want to chop this up nice and finely. I don't want to get too super crunchy. I am feeling a lot better after that yogurt too. I'm definitely going to eat the bacon live on stream here. I'm going to have so much cleanup. Like, there's pieces of celery just flying everywhere. Oh, that's usual. There comes to a certain point in the stream where I just stop caring about dropping stuff and whatever. And I'm just like, screw it. I'm going to have to sweep anyway. You know, I'll have packaging or whatever. I'll just toss it on the floor because I know I'm going to have to do a deepish clean anyway. All right, next up, half a shallot. So we already, well, quarter shallot. We already chopped it up last time. Chopped up the quarter. Cool thing about shallots is, similar to onions, shallots have layers. So they're easy to slice up into small pieces because the layers will separate on you. So as long as you kind of like cut it 1 or 2 ways, the third way will get nice and sliced up. So that's cool. Woo! Be careful, Carl. Saying I have this mildly irrational fear that the knife will be the wrong side up in my hand. Like somehow I won't notice the handle's upside down. And then I'll press down on it and just slice me right open. Luckily, I have not been cut or burnt in a cooking stream yet. Knock on wood. I hope you all can't hear that, but the fans on the microwave just automatically kicked on. So I hope the noise suppressant should be able to deafen that or dampen that. But let's see. Have a cup of dill. The rest of the dill. This is dill. I was having some problems earlier. Didn't know the difference between Whoop. Didn't know the difference between dill and chives. I was calling chives dill, even though I do. All right, we got the compost. Take out these nice thick stalks. Don't want them. So we'll bundle this up into a little ball. And go to town and just chopping. This reminds me of the fairgrounds. You know, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to help at the local fair to set up the produce show. And every year someone would bring dill because there's a dill category, and it always would always smell like overpower the smell of everything else. Dill has a very distinct, like, pungent smell to it. All right, that's pretty chopped up enough. We don't need to be super minced or anything, but we just want it to be nice and chopped up so that when we mix it up in the end, it actually mixes in and there's not huge chunks. We kind of want the flavors to get all... Oh! Missed a dill. And then we're going to need chives. I could find just chives. I could only find this live chives stuff. So we're just going to use that. We're going to chop it all off, the rest of it. So now that should allow it to regrow if it needs to be. And we'll do the same thing. Roll her all up.
And there goes the battle.
All chopped up. Throw that in. And there goes the bet. Why can I not hear that? Let's turn that up. Let's try that again. I want to see if I can hear that now. Degummy, welcome in anyway.
And there goes the battle.
It's not letting me hear that. Yeah, you guys should be able to hear it, but it's not playing through. Weird. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Whatever. If anyone follows, yell at me. I don't want to miss no follow. Dude, it was tragic. Like last week, someone visited me from Hover, the app, and they followed me. And it was too quiet. I couldn't hear the follow. So I said, "Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. I'm sorry I missed it. I noticed it in my activity feed." They left and they unfollowed. And I was like, come on. Give me a break. Congrats on sick. Yeah, it happened off stream. I don't know. I watched someone else's stream. I was at 5.99. I watched someone else's stream, and then another chatter in that stream followed me, which is weird because I didn't make any mention. Like, I wasn't a regular there or whatever, and I didn't make any mention that I streamed. So I don't know how they knew. Maybe they just said, I don't know, this guy's pretty cool. Click on his profile. But in any case, so a sixth of a cup of mayo. It's about a sixth of the cup, maybe a little bit more. So we did a little bit different. My dad got the Beer and Brat brown mustard, horseradish mustard. I'm going to try the yellow mustard. It calls for Dijon, which we didn't have, but so whatever. But it's just a half a tablespoon in this, so not a huge deal. So there we go. Drop the cap on the floor. So how you doing, Degummy? How is Iceland? I know it's starting to thaw out here in Michigan. Sometimes check out profiles of chatters when they give a fun vibe. Yeah, that's true. See, like, oh, do you stream too? Is this something? But yeah, I was not self-promoting unprompted, but I wasn't even self-promoting prompted either. Half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. It's a big no-no. It always is frustrating when someone comes in and is like, "Oh yeah, I stream like this and that." I'm like, "Come on, man. That's now you got to put me in the position of being like, do I let it slide or do you be like, hey, that's not cool, and then get into conflict, and then they go, well, I was just saying it was relevant to the conversation. Yeah. If you stream, don't go into other people's chats and talking about you that you stream. Unless they specifically ask you. Please. The eggs. Oh, God. Doing good, doing good. Moved. Okay, so you're starting to move in the new apartment? Find paint. Oh, lovely. What colors are you thinking? Start getting the eggs here. All right, we have the official Pumpkin Man egg right here. What colors? Yes. Rainbow? Or have you yet to figure that out? I gotta grab my spatula real quick. Is the microwave supposed to automatically? So I just asked my dad, I was like, hey, is the microwave fan supposed to turn on unprompted? He said, no, you must have accidentally hit it. Not letting me turn it off. I wonder if it knows something I don't. Ugh. You know what? If this peels well, I'm just gonna put it back and save it for the deviled eggs. Because holy cow, I spent way too long trying to peel the deviled eggs. Because farm fresh eggs like this peel horribly, from what I understand. Hard boiled. This is peeling actually good. Break it on an even surface, roll it like a rolling pin, then pull both ends off. Well, this one's past that, of course. We'll see this method. If anyone has any input, feel free to let me know. See, the problem is this fan is just blowing all the hot air right in my face. And I'm like, bro, I'm overheating here. All right. It's hot in this pumpkin apron. Like, come on. Okay, I'm liking this peel. Like from a definite good enough standpoint. So let's set that off to the side. Break it on an even surface. Roll it like a rolling. I blame you, Dagummy. I didn't even use that much force. These farm fresh eggs built different, man. I'm telling you. I didn't. That was egg breaking. That was just shell breaking pressure, man. You're just too ripped. I don't know my own strength. It wasn't like a crack, you know? Hey, Lauren. Welcome in. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Okay, so let's try this again. Okay. So the gummy says, if you lightly crack part of the egg, by the way, strawberry watermelon egg, I made this, I know what it is. It's a watermelon egg. If you lightly crack a part of the egg on a flat surface like this, and you roll it around, break it by pushing it. Okay. You know how hard eggs are to break by just pushing it? Okay. So that's cracked. That's cracked, right? Okay, we roll in it very lightly. And then you take the two sides of it just caused a fissure. It just caused a fissure. Do you guys see this? Y'all don't know how to work with eggs as fresh as these. Or something. Everybody's telling me. Yeah, I should put in what kind of eggs you buying? What kind of eggs we buy? We don't buy eggs. We have chickens. Fresh chickens. That's how. The good kind. Do I have to put no backseating on my freaking cooking stream? Your egg methods are poor. Goodness gracious. I come down here, I cook these things for y'all, and you're telling me how to crack the eggs. And then I'm just freaking crying on the I'm just crying, man. Ugh. Hey, if it ain't Twitch having fun at the expense of the poor streamer. Goodness gracious. Have a chill cooking stream, they said. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy yourself. Hold up. I think I gotta put some more water. I think in the pan. It's starting to boil dry. That's not good. In the saucepan. Ugh. Yeah, so if y'all haven't been here for the past few minutes. Since I was boiling this thing, it heated up the bottom of the microwave, and now it's blowing hot air at my face, and I can't turn it off because it's a safety procedure, a fail safe if it gets too hot. So okay, so that's like 2 eggs. All right, we've got a plain, nice aquamarine teal color egg. All right, one more time. Okay, see the crack on this? It's like minuscule. Okay. A nice dry desert. Yeah, no. That's a big no from me. Oh, but look at that yolk. It's like a bouncy ball. Oh, I'm hooked. But yeah, I'm just, it's hot in this freaking apron, It's not actually. I just want to mention the fact I'm wearing an apron. Of course, this one peeled nicely, actually. I wish I hadn't torn it in half. But you know what? That's fine. No, it's a hard-boiled egg. Ugh. All right, last one. Seen eggs do that method? Well, I guess I'm just special. It's really tender, I guess. Ooh, this is questionable. This is a questionable peel. Because I literally had to go to a Be Right Back screen. No, that's not good enough. I had to literally go to a Be Right Back screen last time. Oh God. To peel the eggs for the deviled eggs because they just were not doing it for me. Okay, but let's turn off the. Let's start letting that cool down. Get every ounce of eggshell off of our cutting board. But now we're just gonna flip them all over. Chop them up. I notice I'm doing the bear claw method. My fingers are rounded in so that when the blade rests against my fingers, it can't cut me. Like I said, knock on wood, but I've never cut myself or burned myself live on a cooking stream. I got close. I've touched something that's hot, but wasn't enough to actually damage the skin, Y'all just saw that go right in there. Don't ignore that. Never happened. Okay. And we can throw that in. Boom. All right. The last thing, potato. Now I got some contention, and the guy on the video said it contention too. Putting eggs. Gotta say 7, 9. I don't want to. I don't know what that means. Gotta say 7, 9, 13 while I knock on the wood. Oh, almost dropped that tater. Where'd my other knife go? I've never heard that before. Yeah, I've never heard the 7, 9, 13 when you knock on wood. I don't know if you know this here, the gummy, but here in America, we don't say no 7, 9, 13 when we knock on wood. We don't need none of that. Any other lurkers in chat? If you're looking for an opportunity to say something, give me a sign. Have you heard 7, 9, 13? Fast Google, it's a Nordic country thing. To prevent jinxing bad luck. Have to ask a Swedish guy. Why 7, 9, 13? 7's a lucky number. In American, from what I've, heard. 13's unlucky. 9, I don't know. Haven't heard a lot of people complain about 9. Unlucky. But there you go. The more you know, you learn something new every day. That's why I like it when people chat, because people can be interested by the things that chat has to say, rather than the uninteresting things that I am saying. Ah, I'm working with limited. I should have brought the bigger cutting board. I'm working with limited space here. All right, let's double check. Make sure we got everything. That's the wrong tab. We got hard-boiled eggs, yes. Potatoes, yes. Apple, yes. Celery, yes. Shallot, yes. Dill, yes. Chives, yes. Mayo, yes. Dijon mustard. Yeah, yellow mustard. Salt, yes. Pepper, yes. So, now we mix it all together and call it good. Gotta get all the Dijon. Check, check, check. Mic check. It's all coming together. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together. Hey, no more desert wind. No mics in chat. Oh, well. Oh, well. Guess I'll just cry about it then. All right, well, we got to have a little. Tastes good to me. All right, so we'll put that off to the side. And we're going to finish it up with the main course here. Not actually the main course, but it's the main thing that I'm excited to share. This is the Carl family secret recipe. All right. So don't be sharing this with all your buddies, okay? All right? This is a secret that I'm broadcasting live on the internet. But this is how we make deviled eggs, all right? Now I'm about to show you the secret ingredient. I'm about to show you the secret ingredient. Don't tell anybody. There it is. Dad grabbed it and put it back away, where I wasn't expecting it. The secret ingredient to the secret deviled eggs. Is the secret ingredient love? No, that's stupid. You can't pour love into a deviled egg. It's bacon. Sorry, was that too harsh? Good. I'm trying to get it for the clip. Come on, guys. I got to be entertaining so I can be TikTok famous and Twitch famous. All right, so I'm just going to use these kitchen scissors to cut 3 slices in half. All right, and say this every time because it's very important. In all seriousness, you want to treat raw meat, if you're working with raw meat, you want to treat it like poison, because it kind of is. Because raw meat is a very high risk of having foodborne pathogens on them. So if you touch anything with your raw meat hands, you touch the raw meat, or the raw meat touches anything, it's contaminated, right? So what I'm going to do is put this away and then wash my hands right after. Yeah, I just got a bunch of goo on my hands. So I'll seal this up. Use my uncontaminated pinky to open the drawer. Put it in the door. Ugh. And wash my hands where you can't see them. I promise I'm washing my hands. There we go. So now, put it on medium-ish heat. I'm not super hungry, dude. I was drooling over this crud. I was like, holy cow. I was so hungry. I don't know why. I was up late. I was up like 2 a.m. playing Dead by Daylight, chatting with some people. That was fun. But yeah, I think I could have stayed up so late. My body's like, bro, you're burning calories. You're hungry. So even though I had what I have every day, every morning, which is Raisin Bran and 1% milk, I was very hungry. It was impacting my performance. It was a detriment to my ability to be entertaining. So we're going to cook this up. Then when we're done, we're going to pour it off into a container. Pringles cans, life hack, are made of foil, metal foil, and paper, cardboard, gray board, whatever you want to call it. So because there's no plastic in them, they are not prone to melting when you put hot things in them. So if you need to pour hot grease off of a pan, you can get away with doing it in a Pringles can. All right, and while that's doing that, I'm going to need to peel this egg. It's always when I'm cooking that my nose. Well, I guess my nose is like always itchy. I don't know why. It's always when I'm cooking. It's like I can't. I'm not supposed to touch my face. You know, touch my nose. Get gross in the food. I've been watching a YouTube channel recently called Chubby Emu. Recently, yeah. And he's a doctor. The host of the channel is a doctor, an actual medical doctor, and he reads through, anonymized accounts of like things that happen to people medically, like crazy things where it's like they do this normal thing that should be okay, but because something weird happened or they have some otherwise unnoticeable like genetic illness or something, things go haywire, and then he like accounts like their journey in the emergency room and like how their body is affected and what the doctors do to try to help them. And one of them I just watched was a student ate leftover potato salad. This is what happened to her liver. And I didn't finish it, I don't think. But the thing was, the reason why it was so, like, it impacted her so negatively was because it was, like, her father made it with homemade pickles, but he made the homemade pickles in a copper pot that he had gotten from a thrift store. So it had no coating on it, so the vinegar from the pickles absorbed the copper from the pot and inundated the pickles with a ridiculously high concentration of copper. And that was what did it. She basically like overdosed on copper. I don't remember. She pretty sure she was fine. As I only got halfway through the video. It's like crazy that like seemingly normal things, and you're just like, oh, guess you're in the emergency room because this random wacky thing happened. I'm gonna rinse this. I saw that the LOL in chat, Lauren, and I was like, wait, why are you? Oh wait, that was an old chat. Like, dang, why are you laughing at this? Oh, okay. So, these are not the prettiest of eggs, of peeled egg. Oh, I should probably not hold them. They're wet over the computer. But they'll do. They will do. And most importantly, I'm not going to have to go to a freaking stream starting, or be right back screen. Just so I can peel the eggs. You know, I always pick them up at the end and flip them over. I never pick them up from the side and flip them over. Wonder why that is. Yeah, I'll do a pick up, the old pick and flip. Yeah. And then you flip them into the cold side, and it takes forever to heat back up. So we'll do these. We'll fry this, and then we'll let the we'll pour the grease out, and then we'll let it sit and cool down for a bit. We'll just on a sizzling bacon. Yeah, it's good. Unfortunately, I mean, y'all can't hear it, right? I'm not gonna do that for long. Nice and cooking-y, like it's very homey. Wake up to the sound of sizzling bacon. That's the dream, isn't it? One day, have someone in your life that you can wake up to the sound of sizzling bacon to, or whatever, or they make you wake up. Whatever, you get what I mean. That's looking good enough. Turn that off. All right, so yeah, we can literally just pop this open, this Pringles can open, and we're gonna pour this off. Careful that it doesn't dribble down the side and spill. We're gonna pour this off very slowly, so as to not let any of the bacon bits, or as few, a little of the bacon bittage as possible. Spill out, because that's the good stuff. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see that, but like the stuff that kind of, yeah, the a little blurry, but that stuff, that's what we want. We'll pat the bacon dry. Put that off to the side. Put the grease off to the side as well. And we can take the our lovely little cutting board back. Seen a lot today. Oh, that's apple. Interesting. So what you want to do is you want to cut your hard-boiled eggs lengthwise. Slice them right down the center. So you've got two little cells there. Probably want to let that cool down just a bit, because you don't want it to cook in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix the egg yolks. I want to separate the egg yolks out. We're going to mix the egg yolks with some mayonnaise. You can use hot sauce, but I didn't want to as well. And we're going to mix it all up inside the bacon pan. And we're going to get all of the bacon bits in the stuff. You know, it's probably fine. So you put all the yolks in here. What you do is you smash them. And then you add a little mayo. A little splort of mayo. Splort. And you mix it all around the pan. And you want to get all the bacon bits. You want to pour out the bacon grease. You don't really want the grease getting in here. It's kind of gross. But you want all the bacon bits to get mixed in with the goo. And if you're vegan or vegetarian, well, if you're vegan, well, tough. You got to head out. Good luck. Yep, we're almost done here, but thank you for popping in, Lauren. Always a pleasure. If you're vegan, tough. This is not a vegan dish, like inherently. And not only does it use inherently not vegan main key ingredients, but it also uses the properties of those ingredients to form the base of like the whole thing. But yeah, if you're vegetarian, then obviously just omit the bacon. You don't have to make it with bacon. And we want it to get nice and creamy. We're just gonna add a little bit at a time. Little bit at a time. Little splort. Until it gets nice and creamy. Unfortunately, yeah, this little egg half here, the yolk was very much near the side, which stinks. It's not ideal. But you know what? We'll do it and it'll taste the same. So we'll probably add a little bit more, and then that'll be it. That was a little bit more than a little bit more. But whatever. We'll mix in. There'll be a little bit mayo. Mayo-y. I'm not a big fan of mayo. It's kind of a necessary evil in deviled eggs. Honestly, I like deviled eggs, but it's one of those things where once I eat a few, it's like way too rich. I can't eat a lot of deviled eggs. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. It's like my brain says, yeah, eat another one. My body goes, maybe not. Or the other way around, I'm not sure. So, if you want to make it real fancy, if you want, you can just dollop that in the little eggs. But if you want to make it real fancy, and here on Cooking with Carl, we want to make it real fancy. We can have a pastry bag. So we want to get it in the pastry bag and get it way down in there. Way down in that pastry bag. All right, we'll fold it back up. Woohoo! Please don't fall off and break and shatter. Shake that down, get it to the bottom as much as possible, and just squeeze it all down. Squeeze it all down. Normally you'd want to make like a dozen of these like at a time, because like, you know, this much, it's not a lot, but what you do is you got it in here, you squirt it. Makes a little star, a little googie star. You go in, you squirt, you slowly lift up. So the trick is, and this is for like applying frostings as well, you put the tip down at the bottom and you squish it out the side, and then you slowly bring it up as it comes up. We had a little blockage in there. And of course, since we added mayo, there should be more per egg that can fit. Squish it down. We'll get the last little bit. We'll goo it all up in there. Ah, there's a lot more where that came from. Holy cow. Okay, that's good enough. You still here, by the way? Betsy just like, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I do have a lurk command if you would like to use it in the future. But that's more than fine. Like I always say, I'm always glad when people come to watch my streams, but I'm never going to be upset if you can't make it. Because you know what? I do it for the viewers, but I also do it for the love of streaming. There it is. All right, so we'll put our finishing touches. Little paprika. You got to be very careful, though. This one's got it's like the holes are too big. Oh, it's a little too much, but there we go. Deviled eggs. Now, we've finished with the salad and the eggs. Now we'll move on to the final portion of Cooking with Carl. We'll do a little commercial break, and then when we come back, we will be at the chatting section. I'll be eating it, telling y'all how I think, and we'll be chatting about whatever. So I will throw up a word from our sponsor, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Getting the camera angle is always tricky. It's always fun trying to switch over. All right, so moment of truth. Got my milk. That's my beverage of choice pretty much anytime. All right, so we already had some of the potato salad, or the egg salad. It's got potatoes in it and eggs. But interesting. So I got a taste of the apple and specifically the celery, the mayo, the mustard's going in too, the egg, of course, peanut and the dill. Chives, I don't know, not really getting it, but it's good. I'm generally not a huge fan of egg salad. Anything with mayonnaise is always with for me. But yeah, so that's that. Let's try the deviled eggs. It's like browner than I'm used to, and maybe that's because like usually you get like bright white or pale yellow, or not bright white, bright yellow, pale yellow eggs. Those are usually like the store-bought stuff. If you have like free-range chickens that have the ability to like eat bugs and stuff, it usually gets like oranger. So I'm wondering if that's it, or if it's like because of all of the bacon I put in. I don't know. Good stuff. No, went down the wrong pipe. That's pretty good. It's not as. I wonder. It doesn't have the. Maybe it's a lack of hot sauce. It doesn't have the bite that I'm used to when like my mother makes it. Yeah, usually we'll make like the whole pack. Like we make deviled eggs when there's like some event or whatever. We'll make the whole pack of bacon first in the pan, pour it off, and then make like a whole like dozen or 2 dozen worth of deviled eggs. So yeah, definitely put too much paprika. Taste that paprika. So yeah, I'm usually, like I said, not a huge fan of egg salad or potato salad either way. Just something about the fact of like eating eggs or potatoes that are just covered with mayonnaise, and it's like, mayonnaise is fine usually. I'm more grossed out by the concept of mayonnaise and mayonnaise itself. I'm pretty sure it's high in like trans fats and crud. I don't know. I'm surprised to taste that when I get the apple in there, and it's like it doesn't taste bad. Like you obviously there's a chunk of apple, so when you bite into it, you get a burst of apple flavor, and it's not bad. It doesn't clash with the other flavors. It 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 blends in well. Like it fits the picture, I think, which is good and surprising. So next week, I'm hoping, as long as the weather's not super super awful, um, because I do have an overhang. I'm trying to do some grilling. That might be cool to get a setup where I have a camera on the grill. Um, so one of my viewers suggested I make show me this recipe of like cola chicken or whatever, where the sauce has like Coca-Cola in it. Um, so I think that'd be cool. We got some wingdings to grill them up and then toss them in the sauce. That might be a nice, interesting one because it's starting to get nice out finally. It's like 80 degrees yesterday here in Michigan. I don't know how it is where y'all are at, but Yeah. Also, I put in the important announcements um, a link to a TikTok and a mini explanation. So, in the past, for some context, I've been kind of focused on like doing things that obviously I want to do on stream, but like with the mindset of I have to want to do it and it'll help me attract viewers and grow the channel. But I realized, given that I'm leaving for Japan in like 3 months, I just kind of want to play through all the video games that I have before I lose a lot of my free time. That, and even if I do something catches on and I do blow up as a channel, I don't want to blow up as a channel and then immediately say, "Hey guys, I'm going to Japan. I don't know when I'm going to be able to stream again." You know. So instead of playing Stardew 3 times a week, I'm just going to play it 1 time a week and then play other games in my backlog. So if you want to see certain games, see me play certain games, make sure you're in the Discord, if you're in the Discord, and go to Carl's backlog to vote on said games. Because I think we only have, like, the highest voted thing is like 3 votes, including me. So not exactly a representative sample size. But yeah, it's Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So I'm probably going to start playing that tomorrow. And then we'll see what I pick. Maybe you do Dagumi a favor and I'll do Dark Souls for him. Ooh, I just got like a sprig of dill. Did not like that. Like it was just like a clump of dill. Ooh, no. So overall, I'd say this is good. It's not my favorite. Like, again, I'm not a fan of potato or egg salad in general, but I am happy to report that I am not suffering from eating this. You know, I give it like a 6 or a 7. Certainly not one of the best meals I've ever had, but it's certainly not bad either. Like last week, I made the pumpkin soup, and I was so sad it didn't taste better. My mind was kind of like, you probably don't want to eat that, Carl. I ate it, despite my body's pleas. Well, all right. I'll finish this up in peace, and I will end the stream there. Seems how chat has died down. But yes, I don't think we're going to raid today. Outro time, unless someone has someone they want me to raid. Outro time. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. If you are currently watching and you like what you saw and you're not following, feel free to follow to be notified of when I next go live, which will be tomorrow, Monday, 1 p.m. It's looking like I'll be playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, most likely starting a new file since I didn't get far on my first one. Oh, excuse me. But yes, if you are already following and you would like to check out my other social media, if you're on desktop, you can do so in the description. And if you're on mobile, you can type !, whatever the platform is, in chat. And if I have one of those, my bot will give you the link. And of course, your viewership and chattership is all I need. But if you really, really like me and you're so inclined to contribute to the channel financially, feel free to cheer, donate, or subscribe. It's free with Amazon Prime. Info on how to set that up in my Discord. Other than that, stay safe out there, folks. Get boosted as soon as you're able to if you're not already. If you're not boosted, don't leave your house unless you need to. But if you do need to leave your house and you're not boosted, make sure you wear a mask, stay at least 6 feet away from other people, and everybody, please wash your hands often. See you next time. Bye.